This is the video discussion for the first discussion question in relation to initial concerns dealing with professional, legal, and ethical issues. The first question we need to address is what are some issues that worry me the most as I enter the counseling profession. I think the biggest thing for me, since my goal is to be a school counselor, is dealing with the whole issue of confidentiality and knowing when to disclose information to my supervisor, being my principal, or to the parent of students that I deal with. I think because I'm dealing that, my goal is to work with students or children, and most of my clients, the majority of my clients will be underage, is knowing, when they tell me something, when do I need to, knowing that fine line or knowing that degree of seriousness of when to go and report this information or break confidentiality and tell their parents. I think it's hard because you're talking about kids who are underage, and as a parent myself, if there were certain things that were disclosed to my son's counselor, I would want to know. But then again, then again, you want the kids to feel comfortable coming to you and that they can come and talk to you about anything, and you don't want to feel like every little secret they tell you, you have to go back and tell the parents. So the biggest issue for me in a school setting will be when to break confidentiality. What information specifically do I need to? I know, of course, suicide and things like that when they're going to harm themselves, but I guess a big example would be if someone came to you and they were pregnant and they want to talk to you about options and things like that. Is that something that you automatically tell the parents? Is that something you need to let the person work out on their own or help them work through to be able to disclose that information to the parents? Or what if they are not comfortable telling their parents yet, and it's my job to get them to a point where they do tell their parents? Or what if they have abusive parents and they're afraid to tell their parents, and if I tell their parents, then something negative is going to happen to them. So I think it's kind of like I'm not sure when is appropriate to break confidentiality as a teacher. As a school counselor working in a school setting, and when it's not. The other thing is legally, I worry about the legal aspect of counseling in general. I know, in court you don't have to disclose information. You hear about that a lot on TV, but how often are counselors sued by clients that are dissatisfied with their services? If I make a client mad because I didn't give them the answer that they wanted, or that I didn't answer a question for them, or I didn't give them advice, can they sue me because I didn't give them advice? How often, I guess I want to see cases of how often, what is statistics on how often counselors have been sued and clients have been, and clients were found, and the counselor was found in the wrong in relation to, being sued by a client. So that's a big concern, the legal aspect of not, of your job, making someone unhappy, having a dissatisfied client to the point that they wanted to take legal action on you. And yes, I know in our reading it said, consult with your colleagues, and that will be a backup, and consult with a lawyer. But what if you've already done something and it's gotten to the point of being sued? I guess I'm worried about avoiding that whole making the client mad so that they'll come after you legally. So as I enter the counseling profession, I start to think about, wow, in the text we were reading about, clients can get upset because you didn't give them the responses that they want, or they thought they didn't receive adequate services, and that was their perception of it, and you think you did a good job, and they could decide to sue you, and now you have a legal issue on your hands, or they could file a complaint with the state or something like that, and how much does it take to clear your name in situations like that? So I really didn't think about the legal aspect of it until I read in this chapter, until this assignment's reading and looking at the code of ethics, and how it's so easy, I think, to unintentionally make someone upset to the point that they want to sue you, because nowadays people can sue you for basically anything that they want. So now I do worry a lot about the legal aspect of this profession, and someone being able to pretty much come after your career or question your abilities or qualifications as a counselor. So that's something to really think about. And that's really the specific topic that I would like to explore would be the legal ramifications of what we do as counselors, and also to what extent people or counselors have been sued and have been found guilty based off, what a client felt like they did or didn't do for them. And I hope that we, explore that further in this class. Thank you.